Who won the Civil War?
We did? The South?
Who won it?
Who was even in it?
Who was in it? Just tell me who was in it.
In 2000, this ACTA report, Losing America's Memory, started a national conversation about a pillar of American citizenship, knowing our history. This report was so shocking it provoked a joint resolution in Congress. As ACTA has found in the decades since, this was just the tip of the iceberg.
We've had 2 iterations of the National Assessment of Adult Literacy that shows that many college graduates, indeed the majority, do not reach basic proficiency levels in verbal and quantitative reasoning.
It's no wonder that our surveys found that only 38% of college graduates could correctly identify the terms of members of Congress. And that was choosing from a multiple choice list.
What happens when students get neither the challenge of haute cuisine for the mind or even a more austere yet balanced diet of introductory courses, but instead a trough full of humanities McNuggets?
World where 36% of the kids, after the investment that's required, don't demonstrate any significant improvements in learning after 4 years. You kind of got to say, what's the point here?
The most important question of them all rarely gets asked. What are they learning?
I'm Evan, and I run ACTA's What Will They Learn project, which assigns a letter grade to nearly 1,100 colleges and universities.
I bet a lot of universities wish that we hadn't gotten our hands on this report. It's called What Will They Learn? And what they found is that overall students are graduating with these huge knowledge gaps because they're not required to have some of those core courses.
And if the marketplace finds that that institution and its graduates don't know very much, then the promise that those students offer to themselves as well as to our country is dramatically diminished.
Now, we know we are having an impact. How so? Several institutions with bad grades have called to threaten legal action. We have calmed them down. Far more have requested assistance in improving their core curricula, and we are happy to work with them every step of the way.
Last year, UGA was one of only 21 universities in the country to receive a grade of A in that survey. We can and should all be proud of that recognition.
Creating and supporting and sustaining a rigorous core curriculum is not only the right thing, is not only the responsible thing, but it also pays huge dividends.
My name is Colleen, and I chose to work at ACTA because of its unwavering support for academic freedom. When I was in college, I didn't even realize how we had been confined to a certain narrow set of beliefs and ideas. The real irony is that we live in this community of global interconnectedness, but we can't even hear out the person sitting next to us in the same classroom.
In 2004, we commissioned the University of Connecticut Center for Survey Research and Analysis to survey students in the top 50 colleges.
I had a friend here who was teaching ornamental horticulture, and she had to explain how she was going to develop a knowledge of race, class, and gender issues in her class on succulent gardens.
I was attacked for teaching fields that are perceived as conservative. U.S. political history, U.S. diplomatic history, and U.S. constitutional history. They say, oh, you're teaching about dead white males. Teaching about the history of the American government is somehow inappropriate because these are the exploiters.
We show donors how they can promote intellectual diversity on campuses through our Intelligent Donors Guide and the creation of Oases of Excellence on our website.
All right, Ann, why did the Supremes get it right yesterday?
Well, this is a real victory for students and the right to think for themselves. It puts an end to the blatant hypocrisy of colleges and universities accepting billions in federal dollars while discriminating against military recruiters. any number of politically incorrect observations can bring blacklisting, disinvitations, and other punishments on our college campuses. A small group of closed-minded students and faculty is all that is needed to cut off discussion on the grounds that their view, the correct view, is the only view.
ACTA realized long ago that trustees, as fiduciaries, are ultimately responsible for ensuring that their institutions are open places, open to the free exchange of ideas.
My name is Victoria, and I'm a first-generation college graduate. I worked 3 jobs to put myself through Washington and Lee University. I was proud to work at ACTA because it tackles the issues that matter to students like me.
What do you think is the most important factor now facing public university? What's the problem exactly?
One of the things that we've noted in our various studies is that today we spend 2 times the average of any industrialized nation on higher ed, but our results are far worse.
It's time to stop the swagger. The burden really is on colleges and universities to provide value for that money.
Schools with sad stories of performance are accredited and receive Title IV funds, but students have no way of knowing what they are getting into as they take out loans to pursue their dreams. Student debt now exceeds $1 trillion.
We need to change this system. This system is leading to bad results, bad quality, not being controlled, and a lack of innovation, not being encouraged, and a lack of efficiency and productivity. This system needs to be changed.
When it's hard to scrape together the funds to go to college, a school's misplaced spending priorities really hurt.
Hi, I'm Arnie Duncan, and I want to thank the American Council of Trustees and Alumni. The work you're doing is absolutely vital. Over the past 20 years, college athletics programs in this country have grown at a staggering rate, both in size and in budgets. Yet investments in academics simply haven't kept pace, and it should be the other way around.
As the American Council of Trustees and Alumni came out with a report on governance for a new era that was really backed up by 22 leaders of higher education, they pointed out that trustees cannot and should not expect participants in this multi-billion-dollar industry to police themselves.
This report says the trustees need to have the last word, and it needs to be the board, the trustees of the university, who have the last word on every critical aspect of the university's performance.
All it takes is one informed member of most boards who will speak out and start asking the right questions, and all the trustees now being informed by ACTA. ACTA's got publications flooding out all the time to trustees. All they have to do is start to read, inform themselves, and then the questions will be asked. And when the questions are asked, the answers will be demanded.
And that's what's happening. In March, the Nevada Board of Regents asked the president of the University of Nevada-Reno the key questions from Governance for a New Era.
We were founded on a simple proposition ourselves, that American higher education has been the finest in the world and that it should remain the finest in the world.
Thank you so much, not just for this tribute to me, for what you're doing. God love you, and keep up the good work.